are back!
We're hungry!
We are once again in the beautiful temple town of Madurai. That way lies the Meenakshi temple and a whole bunch of other tasty stuff.
The drive into Madurai was along this beautiful curving highway, lots of trees, really nice visuals, and just as we enter it, we've stopped here in front of a beautiful statue of the goddess Kali. Madurai is one of the oldest cities in India. It goes back almost 2,500 years and used to trade with Rome. And at one time it was famed as a city that when you approach the city, you could get these beautiful smells of sandalwood and musk and flavors of food. Those are not the smells you get anymore, and those are not the sights you see anymore when you enter the city.
This city now has a few serious problems, the least of which are... Oh, actually, let's just show them.
Chennai seems to be a city of a lot of irony. The first irony
is that we're in Madurai, not in Chennai.
Oh, right. The second irony is the fact that the place that was highly recommended to us for a traditional meal, this place called Amma Mess, in a hot, sweltering city, advertises AC by night.
From 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. when the weather becomes cool. But the greatest irony of all is that even outside the Amma Mess is a poster of Mr. Aragiri, who's definitely not going to recommend the Amma Mess. But when you're in Tamil Nadu, Amma is everywhere. Feed us, Amma! Feed us! Amma, hey Amma, 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 hey Amma, 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 Amma. This is the famous Amma Mess Hall, and the reason why it's famous partly is also because of a very famous bone marrow omelette, which is unique as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. This mess is also very famous because of all the famous people that have eaten there. And if I'm saying famous enough, because there's lots and lots of famous people, starting with Mr. Rajnikant on the left.
This is like the list of who's who. And there's you.
If I was 130 kilos, that's exactly what I would look like. But that's not me. There's a very famous director here called Tarani.
It's a very, very, very famous place. And the reason why they are so famous is evident over here. I can see some wonderful things on this menu, which include, of course, the omelette that I'm going to be having, the bone marrow omelette, and rabbit. They have rabbit.
Are you allowed to eat rabbit?
Yeah. They have it on the menu, I'll eat it. Why don't you see what you're going to have?
Right, let's see. There's special biryanis, all meat. There's mutton, there's chicken, there's specialities, all meat, all crab, meat. Egg, soups, cool drink, fish, and special omelettes. On this menu, pretty much the only thing that I can eat are the Arun ice creams and the menu itself.
I love it. You want to read it in Tamil? Just in case they have something vegetarian in the back.
And you know what? It's all non-vegetarian in Tamil too. The Amma Mess is the first place that we've been to in all our travels that had not a single, not one vegetarian item in its menu.
Rice.
Did it have rice in its menu? Okay, but I can't eat just rice, so I still go with it didn't have a single vegetarian item on the menu.
Oh, sir, rabbit. Roast rabbit.
Bone marrow omelette.
Ah, bone marrow omelette.
Can I have little more chutney?
Here's the famous speciality of the house, the bone marrow omelette. It looks kind of humble, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting. Another hot item over here is the roast rabbit, and this is something that they get from farms, and there are shops here retailing them. So once again, these are grown and not hunted. That's very important. Thank you. And as Mayur makes a pig of himself with vegetables, I think I'm going to enjoy this.
Little chicken gravy.
Oh wow, okay.
There's chicken, there's mutton, there's rabbit. Guess who's in heaven? These messes are really interesting. The whole concept of the mess came in the pre-independence era, when a lot of people used to come from Chennai and government officials used to come here in Madurai. They'd find places to stay, but they wouldn't get places to eat. So some enterprising families started selling food out of their front lawn. The women of the family would cook, and they would offer really nice home-cooked vegetarian and non-vegetarian dishes to people. Slowly they made this a commercial establishment, and these little messes started coming up where people could come and eat. Even today, the woman of the household will normally be there supervising. So we went at the back there, and this wife of the owner, all resplendent in her nice jewelry, is actually there personally supervising all the food preparation.
The fact is that when a woman's touch comes onto the food, it is evident there is a lot of care that's been taken to prepare these things. Extremely delicate flavors. And now it's time to really tuck into that speciality of the house, the bone marrow omelette. It's rich. The bone marrow omelette is boiled mutton bones from which the marrow is then removed and is then mixed with eggs and cooked as a regular omelette, and this is what it ends up as. Thank you. This is a extremely well done dish because the marrow is prepared with a whole lot of spices, which are a sort of secret ingredient only the women of the house actually know, and they've added their special touch to this. Those meatballs are extremely tender. That has got to be the lightest, fluffiest meat dish I have ever had.
How exciting. I've got these two pickles, I've got the rice, and I'm going to borrow that and start eating the garland. It's vegetarian.
You try it on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, meatballs, sir, meatballs. This wonderful, fiery looking red gravy that we have over here is the chicken kalikattu, which is also one of the things that this place is famous for. It's got lots of oil and it's been prepared with a stupendous amount of chilies, and that makes it just up my street.
I'm quite happy. From being scared that I wasn't going to get anything to eat, I've actually managed to get 3 different things. They come as little sides, they're not on the menu. They're quite tasty though. Here's a little interesting fact. See the banana leaves that we're eating? We all know that down south we eat on banana leaves. The banana leaves are always placed with the narrow end pointing to the left. So if we were sitting that side, the ends would be pointing that way. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Oh. Now I do.
And another thing is the banana is a very mineral rich plant and a fruit. So when you put the hot sambar or the hot dal on it, the minerals actually leach out.
And now it's time to dig into this little rabbit. It's a sparse sort of meat, and it's a lot smaller than you'd think a rabbit would be. Wow. This is a strong meat. Rabbit meat is supposed to have a lot of heat when you eat it, and it has a unique sort of flavor, a lot more characteristic than chicken is. And I quite enjoy rabbit meat, so this is fun.
The sambar that came in and poured on the rice is a bit spicy, and it's also got that nice tart taste.
Good, huh?
Traditionally in the messes, all the cooking would be done on firewood stoves. No gas was used back then, and even till today, most of the cooking is done on firewood stoves. Some places have moved to gas cooking, but not all.
Excuse me. While we're continuing to tuck into that really exciting meal, it's time for Rocky and Mayur's report card. Taste.
7.
9. Ambience.
6.
6.
What about service?
9.
9. What about value for money?
I'll give it a 10.
I give it a 10. I'm not going to pay anything because I never ate anything on the menu.
And I've eaten all over Tamil Nadu, but some of the tastes that I've got here at Amma's Mess are absolutely one of a kind.